What's up, Offshore Racing World? I'm William Holtz with Lake TV Offshore, and it's time for another race recap. This time it was Race World Offshore's Ocean City Grand Prix from the Atlantic Ocean in Maryland. The fourth stop on the APBA National Championship Series had it all, from thrilling last lap finishes, boat crashes, and even a little drama, which we'll get to. No Class 1 or Super Stock races, but still a lot in store from Ocean City for the 4-mile course. Now, big thing about this weekend's races were they were double points races, so super important as far as the National Championship standings. Now, the weekend featured plenty of drama, big storylines, a boat flip, and a thrilling last lap finish for Super Cat class. Day 1 started with 500 and 700 classes, and as far as the bracketed classes for those running simultaneously, it was X Insurance once again taking the double checkered flag, just like they did a week ago right here at Lake of the Ozarks for Shootout Offshore. In the 500 class, you had X Insurance, TFR Golf and Gator. It was JJ Turk driving and Nick Boys on the sticks. Their 23 Phantom 30-foot V-bottom did the trick. And in the 700 class, once again, X Insurance Statement Marine. It was Ricky Harmeyer and Owen Boys on the sticks there. Their 89 Activator 22-foot V-bottom, two of the youngest racers in offshore today, with another checkered flag. Now both of these boats leave the weekend with a very comfortable lead in first place over the field for the respective class, and then it was on to race number 2 for the weekend in the very popular factory stock 450R class. Just 4 boats this weekend, lots of drama. There was a crash and an insane GPS dive team Mercury racing engine retrieval from the Atlantic Ocean. So first, some drama brewing for Montlick, who are currently in first place. Normally, Ricky Maldonado driving, well, he's out. Gary Ballou is in. They've taken first place, 2 checkered flags in the first 3 races this year, and also worth noting, no MTI boats this weekend in this class, meaning it was all Doug Wright boats. It's worth noting that Taylor Sissom with MTI, she had a wedding event at her hometown right here at Lake of the Ozarks, so her and the rest of the MTI field sat this one out, so it was all Doug Wright cats on display for the 450 class. Also worth noting, a brand new team in the 450 class was Team DeFalco and Doug Wright with Billy Moore and Mike Falco. Now, they took hold of the 22 38-foot Doug Wright. Now, you saw this boat last season with 6 or 7 wins with the Montlick team running that boat. As I said, without MTI boats, that means the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 7th place teams missed out on the double points race for this class, and it started with a crazy scene as Gladiator Canedos flipped on the very first lap and even lost an engine. Now, luckily, both Michael Casente and Irvin Grant were both reportedly unharmed, which is more that can be said for that Mercury Racing 450R engine that plunged deep into the Atlantic. Now, luckily, GPS retrieval helped them find that, and then it was Towboat US and the APBA dive safety team that helped get that to shore. Incredible images shared with us from, of course, Parker Lindsey with X Insurance Sports. Now, we told you about Montlick Injury Attorneys. They came in leading the field in their Doug Wright and driver Logan Adon. He welcomed Gary Ballou to throttle and run the sticks, of course, in this race. Now, a source close to Ricky Maldonado told me that they had some differences and nothing is finalized. There is a chance he could be back with Team Montlick, but we'll see what the future holds. And of course, Gary Ballou, he's no stranger, a former world champion. You'll remember him from FJ Propeller, the super stock boat, and of course, Big East Construction. They finished second. Now in first, Team DeFalco and Doug Wright, Billy Moore and Mike Falco in that sexy red 2022 Doug Wright. They ran the boat that was last year run, like I told you, by the Montlick team. They led this essentially the whole race and finished a large margin ahead of everybody else in the field. And in third place, Hank Saloon Racing with Edwin Shear on the sticks and Kobe Harrison driving that 2023 Doug Wright 38. Now, I spoke with Doug Wright Power Boats, and they said Mike Falco actually purchased that 2022 red Doug Wright 38 that him and Billy just won that 450R checkered flag with. Now, Billy confirmed right afterwards that indeed Mike Falco and Team DeFalco now own the boat, and they're going to be running in the 450R class the rest of the season. And of course, we'll keep you updated on Montlake Injury Attorneys and Doug Wright, but they hold on to first place with that second place finish for the double points. But look out for Team DeFalco and Doug Wright. Of course, Billy Moore, that guy doesn't mess around with Mike Falco. And of course, the MTI boats and the rest of those boats will surely be back in action for Sheboygan. Now, that was the conclusion of day one. And on Sunday, the second day of racing, you had Mod V. And that was taken by Statement Marine and X Insurance as JJ Turk and Nick Boys, they took the 2021 Extreme 29-foot V bottom for a checkered flag. And in the Super V class, that was actually a shortened race. Only two teams in first place, Team Farnsworth and Hancock Claims. Christian McCauley and Jay Heli, they took that one in their 2005 Fountain 42-foot V bottom. And in second, Cortez Cove, Fountain Racing, Kirk Brito and Zach Jerzini, their 2004 Fountain 40-foot V bottom was good for second. Now in the 400 class, first place taken by Framed Offshore Racing. They stretched out that first place lead in the national championship standings in their 2004 Extreme 29-foot V bottom. Michael Flamia and John Janika Jr. took care of business. In second place, Simmons Marine, Jim Simmons and Kevin Campbell with the 2014 Phantom 34-foot V bottom. Like I said, Framed Offshore Racing, they stretched out that first place lead and sit comfortable heading into the rest of the season. And then it was on to the big boys, the class everyone was waiting for, Super Cat class. 7 boats in competition, and heading into the weekend, the standings were MCon Racing, Monster Energy in first, WHM Motorsports in second, CR Racing in third, and Dirty Money Racing in fourth. And that's the way the standings currently sit, but rumor has it that Dirty Money actually is protesting the Shootout Offshore race, and a source close to Britt Lilly tells me Dirty Money fairly confident they could win that protest, which would really shake up the standings. But with it being double points, this Ocean City race was that much more important for the ever so popular Super Cat class. Now you'll remember 3 years in a row in the National Championship Series and 2 years in a row for the World Championship Series. This class has been owned by MCon Racing, Monster Energy. Now, Tyler Miller, the team owner, of course, not back in the boat for the weekend. Now, he's following back surgery just about 5 weeks ago. He did return a week ago to Shootout Offshore for the Class 1 boat, which he took 2 checkered flags. We're all aware of that. But he let Johnny Tomlinson take the throttle for Ocean City. But enough backstory, you probably didn't follow that quite like I did anyway, so on to racing. Dirty Money, Britt Lilly on his home waters, and Bill Pyburn. Now, they led most of the race. They actually passed Graydell and MCon on the third lap, and they held on to a solid lead for laps 4 through 9 before it got just a little tighter. Meanwhile, Team Farnsworth and Hancock Claims Insurance, they went down on the third lap. Christian McCauley and Anthony Smith on the sticks. They're going to get this boat dialed in because I'm telling you, it is a good-looking boat. Once they get that figured out, that boat has a chance to win a championship. As for CR Racing, they went down on the 5th lap. Rob Unterstall driving and Osage Beach native Casey Boas on the sticks. Disappointing day for them, and for Roland Transport and Hancock Claims, they went down on the 9th lap as Vinio Diorio on the sticks and Matt Janewski driving that boat. So back to racing as Dirty Money looked to have the checkered flag, but on the last lap, the final lap, they had their escape hatch blow open. They slowed down to get it shut, opening the door for Johnny Tomlinson and Myrick Coyle, who on the final turn of lap 13 made their move and finished 10.2 seconds ahead of Dirty Money. The first place finish marked the 3rd checkered flag in 4 races for the 3-time reigning national champion and 2-time reigning world champion Super Cat class boat MCon Racing and Monster Energy, but probably the most thrilling to date for that boat. Now, I spoke with Tyler Miller, team owner, and as I alluded to, the normal throttle for MCon Racing, and he said just an incredible day. It's why you get the absolute best for your boat. Johnny Tomlinson, Myrick Coyle got the trick done, and although He did run in Lake Ozark. It's still yet to be determined whether or not he's going to return to the Super Cat class. Johnny T really taking care of business, but something tells me you'll see Tyler Miller return to Sheboygan, which is set for August 9th through the 11th. So the standings for Super Cat in Ocean City, taking the checkered flag, MCon Racing and Monster Energy. Second place, Dirty Money Racing with Britt Lilly and Bill Pyburn. In third place, CJ Grant Racing, Gray Dill, Billy Moore and Chris Grant. And in fourth, WHM Motorsports, Billy Moff and Jay Mueller. Now remember, Billy Moff, a four-time national champion in Super Cat class with WHM Motorsports. Most wins, 4 since 2012, but look out for MCon Racing Monster Energy. They've won it 3 years in a row, and after this weekend, those double points, they have a demanding lead in Super Cat class as we head to Sheboygan a couple months away. So just an incredible weekend of offshore racing in Ocean City, Maryland for the Race World Offshore Ocean City Grand Prix, the fourth stop on the APBA National Championship Series. MCon Racing, Monster Energy, a big weekend with that insane finish on that last turn. One of the coolest finishes to an offshore race you'll ever see. You do got to feel for Britt Lilly. That guy is up and coming as far as throttleman in the industry, and something tells me he is going to have his day. Now, a huge shout out to Rick Lindsey, Parker Lindsey, Glenn Leon with the X Insurance Heli Cam all weekend long. Incredible shots from you guys. Now, this APBA Ocean City Grand Prix Offshore Racing Recap is a Lake TV Offshore production in collaboration with X Insurance Sports and X Insurance. Well, to tie a bow on this Lake TV Offshore Racing Recap, I'm William Holtz with Lake TV Offshore. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, my offshore racing friends, be fast, be safe, and most importantly, be blessed.